Today I'm going to tell you an interesting story about the life of St. Matthew the Apostle. St. Matthew is also known as the patron saint of accountants, bankers, and bill collectors. He was born in the 1st century in the region of Galilee in Capernaum into a Jewish family. His original name was Levi and was the son of Alphaeus. He also had a brother named James the Younger who would later become one of the apostles. From his early age, St. Matthew was very spiritual and he was well educated, for he has a great intellect, especially when it came to accounting. When he was young, he worked for the Roman government as a tax collector. Back then it was considered a prestigious job which paid very well. But the citizens view his profession as a traitor, sinner, and often despise him because of corruption and oftentimes bribery. People didn't even want to see him visiting in their temples, and they never spoke of him with respect. Despite his wealth and status, St. Matthew longed for something deeper in life. One day, while he was working, collecting tax money from people, a man named Jesus of Nazareth approached him and said, "Come follow me." Without hesitation, St. Matthew stood up, left his coins and ledger books, and followed him. From that point on, he was no longer a tax collector. He became a disciple of Jesus and was called Matthew, which means gift of God. While being with Jesus, he witnessed all his miracles such as healing the sick, rising the dead, and listened to his teaching, which truly deepened his faith in God. After the death and resurrection of Jesus, he decided to write the story which we now famously called the Gospel of St. Matthew. This gospel made a profound impact not just for his followers but on all of Christianity throughout the world. According to some Bible experts, he wrote the gospel for the Jewish people to easily understand and know the man named Jesus of Nazareth. It tells a narrative story about Jesus' birth, ministry, crucifixion, resurrection, and the Great Commission. It also beautifully connects Jesus to Old Testament prophecies, which gave us proof that the Messiah had truly come. It also tells the beautiful story of the 3 wise men who followed the star that led them to visit his manger when he was just born, which you cannot find in the other 3 Gospels. It also tells a detailed account of Jesus' ascension to heaven, which he personally witnessed when he was his disciple. These stories all came from St. Matthew's pen, giving us a deep and meaningful understanding of Jesus' life. After the ascension of Jesus, St. Matthew traveled far and wide to preach the gospel of Jesus. Tradition holds that he went to Judea, Ethiopia, and Persia, converting many people to Christianity. He preached to kings, pagans, and strangers with the light of the Word of God. Eventually, his boldness and commitment in spreading the Word of God cost him his life. Though it was not clearly accounted how he died, tradition says that he was killed in Ethiopia while he was celebrating Mass. Others said he died in Persia as a martyr. But regardless of how he died, his legacy lived in all of us, especially his writing of the Gospel. Later, a basilica in Salerno, Italy was built in his honor, and it is called the Basilica of St. Matthew. Today, he is venerated as the patron saint of accountants, bankers, and bill collectors, and his feast day is celebrated every 21st of September. If you like stories like this, support us, follow, like,